I'm gonna try to keep it short because I got other things going on this morning. But I found something really cool last night, and I want to share with you because I think that if I'd seen this, let's say 2 years ago, my whole biblical studies would be a lot further along than they are now. Okay? Okay, let me just say this. Uh, Whatever church you go to or denomination that you participate in, you are being taught doctrine. Okay. It's essentially from my personal view of how things are going on. It's kind of like the rules for each group. Okay. So the doctrine of the Trinity, the doctrine of the second coming, the doctrine of hell. Okay. These are things that people that have read the Bible in the past agreed together on one, and therefore you belong to that group. Okay. And if you don't agree with that particular doctrine, then you need to go find another group. Okay. So these are just cliques. Like in high school, you had the jocks. I didn't go high school here, but you had the jocks and the cheerleaders and the brainy kids and the got kids and the dorky kids, right? Okay, so that's literally what doctrine does for the church. Okay, it makes cliques, which we're not supposed to do, right? Whatever else we do, we're supposed to be united. All right. Okay, and we are supposed to agree to disagree. It's like the doctrine of the women teachers and preachers and apostles, which we could go on for hours, but that's not what I'm here. Okay, so one thing that I have discovered, so if you get a study Bible, okay, any study Bible, it will have its own doctrine and theology that they want to teach you and form the way that you understand the Bible, okay, right? So while that is very helpful to understand certain things, you should form your own opinions of it and not in a vacuum, but getting other people's opinions, comparing it against the Bible, and then saying, okay, well, that doesn't match, whatever. Okay. But the one thing that is very interesting to me and is very subtle is that your Bibles, just your plain Jane, all Bibles have their own theology that they're trying to teach you, their own doctrine that they are trying to impose on you. So, for instance, this morning I'm still reading through Isaiah, and I'm trying to go very, very slowly, observing rather than just speeding through it. Okay, so I'm reading through Isaiah, and there was this one passage where God says, I will take away your diviners, right? I'm thinking, I don't think I'm reading the Septuagint right now, and I'm thinking, I don't remember seeing that. And when I go back, I looked at the KJV, and instead of putting the word diviners, which is the actual context of the Hebrew word behind that, they put the word prudent. Okay, because if you read that, okay, there's diviners, but in the in the Exodus narrative, God said, I do not permit a witch or whatever, and diviners and all that. So what is he saying? Are they allowed or are they not allowed, right? And so you have to then go through your own way of thinking, go back to the passage, go back to this passage, and understand the context of each of those passages. Okay. And one, they're just coming into the land, and he doesn't want them to take on the things that the people, okay, that in the land, the demon worship and all the stuff. And in the other passage, uh, God provides diviners for them, people that will tell them, or prophets. At any rate, all of that to say is, I want to show you something I found out on if you've been with us for a minute, I always use Blue Letter Bible, and no, not Blue Letter Bible, but Logos, the Logos software, which is a super powerful tool. And then the it's got all kinds of cool stuff, and most of it is free. Now, if you want books and stuff, you have to pay for them. And but let me actually go from close all my windows, as you can see them right here, right? And I want to show you something which is fantastic. So the what I'm trying to get at is the every translation of the Bible has its own doctrine that they want to impose on you, whether it is on purpose or it's just uh, a well-meaning. They all have a certain ideas and desires to put that on you. Okay, so one of the things that I do in the Blue Letter in the Logos software is I study subjects and things like that because I use it to. So, for instance, when I see a passage that I don't understand, I grab the passage, and then what I do is I look at the Hebrew word that's stripping, the word that is stripping me out on a Hebrew context, and usually that helps a lot. Anyways, I think I did a YouTube show yesterday regarding the fact that I'm trying to figure out in what context does the word heaven or heavens mean. I heard one professor talk about how the word heavens, you know how we have the word sky, outer space, all of these things to define our those the sky above us, right? Well, in the Hebrew word, there's not that many words to define that. So the word heaven can be used in many ways, and we are supposed to look through it, use context clues in order to figure out what the meaning of the word is at the time. So, so I was trying to figure how to study that yesterday, and so I'll show you. I have the Bible right here, and I did a simple search on Logos, and um, I'm looking for heaven, right? Just the word, and it has all right here, right? So I clicked on Bible, right? And he brings me to the every passage in the Bible that uses the word heaven, okay? All the way through the New Testament. Right? So if you can see, they're all here. They're highlighted, the passage, the book, the chapter, and the verse, and the actual passage. Okay. This particular version of the tool I've used a lot of times to just simply study a word and all that. You can also do this with a concordance. Okay, if you're not tech savvy and this is hard for you, you can use a concordance. Okay, well, that's great. So then I was just sitting here yesterday and I'm like, what are all the oldest things? And this is what I'm talking about being curious. Just be curious. Find out things about the Bible. And so there's a line. So what it does, it puts the thing and aligns the word heaven in the middle in the verse on either side, right? As you can see, it says, and God called the expanse heaven, and there was evening, and there was morning the second day. Right? So that's another way that they align it. There's another way they do, they make it as a grid. So you have uh the name of the book and what chapter and verse they're in, and then you have a little checkbox, right? And if you click it right here in Logos, it takes you to that particular passage so you can figure it out. All right, that's good enough right there. It's perfect. That's good. And then this is what I thought was amazing. Okay. And if you're a nerdy nerd, you'll get. All right. So the analysis. He just patted me in the head like I'm a child. Okay, friends. Okay, let me pause this before I share this with you. I do accounting for a living, okay? And I used to work in this office. And this was this one time we use QuickBooks as our software for all the accounting stuff. And there was this one time years ago when QuickBooks started to allow us to upload an image of the invoice and attach it directly to the bill within the software. Whoa, you guys. Anyways, I told some people in the office, and they're like, yeah, okay, you're a nerd. And then there was this lady that worked there too, she did accounting, and I showed her that, and her mind was like blown just like mine. Okay, that's, this is how I feel. I like sharing this sort of stuff because I think they're so cool. And if you are interested, you'll like it. If you don't, that's okay, skip by. But okay, let's go back to it. This is just nerdy stuff I like to share with you guys because I wish somebody would share this stuff with me. If you find something super nerdy and cool, share it. All right, so we are in the analysis, okay? Now, if you let me see, can I collapse this so I can show you more? Can I? No, I don't think so. Okay. So here's the ESV, it tells you the source I did, the reference, the context of the word, okay, of the thing. And then this is so crazy helpful. Let me see. I don't think my audio is working. Hello? Oh, no. Did I? Let me try one more time. Huh? Hmm. Speakers. Oh, audio, video. Okay, I'm hoping this works. Okay, let me pause that. Um, Make sure that it's, oh, there it is. Okay, it's just really low. Okay, guys. Okay, so this is the super cool nerdy part of it. So if you take the word, in our English word is heaven, right? What we're looking for. And then it gives you either the Greek word, the actual the Hebrew word that is used. I think it's samayin. Shamayin. Yin. Okay, anyways. So that way you can tell how they're translating the word heaven, right? So, okay, so if you, for instance, in my way of thinking, if the word is the same, the way I'm studying, okay, so what I'm gonna grab is every single word that is the exact same thing, right? Like this the same characters. Um, I'm gonna look through those, and then I'm gonna look at the anomalies. Like this one looks different. So and then I'll click on it and find out why is the Hebrew characters are like this and all that. Or in the case of the Greek, why is it this way and not that way, right? So one way to study is just to look through the anomalies. Why is it, see, here is this way and here is this way, right? Okay. But this is a lot of data to look at in one just like this. So what I did yesterday, uh, let me do. So I was like, well, I guess I need to print it and I'll sit with my Bible and all that and I'll go through it and see which ones highlight and all that, right? But I'm like, most of the time you can print everything you got. And so instead of printing, you can export it to an Excel spreadsheet, which is a very helpful way to analyze any sort of data. Now, what you want to do in this case, it doesn't really print directly when you send it to an Excel spreadsheet. it doesn't really print it, show it correctly, right? So what I did, see how it has this Excel XML? You want to change that to CSV, comma separated version, I think it's called. So you do that. Oh, no, I already have one. So let me change that for you. Okay, so you have that. And then on my desktop, okay, let me see if, what are you looking at, friends? Let me stop sharing and share my other screen. And now here I have the file that I downloaded, okay? And you click on it and it opens, and it has everything here, right? And now if you're any sort of nerdy nerd that knows a little bit about Excel sheets, you can sort all of this in many ways, okay? You can sort it by characters, by names, by whatever. You can manipulate this data in a lot of ways. Now, the CSV file are hard for me to look at sometimes, because once you do, it doesn't hold on to some of your formatting. So what I did was just simply save it as, now I can save it as an Excel sheet and save it. And now I have it as an Excel sheet, which is, let me see, make sure that you see it. Yep, there we go, stop share. And let me share that screen. Okay. See, now you have it as a spreadsheet where you can manipulate the data left and right, up and down, organize it. So for instance, I tested it yesterday, and if you organize the data, so it recognizes these characters. And so what we will do is group them. So if I have a bunch of characters, Hebrew words that are the exact same thing, it will sort them that way, and then I can just deal with the ones that are a little different, or where it's not used as a noun, or what have you. Okay, it's very, very powerful. I mean, spreadsheets are super powerful tools that you can use to analyze data in the Bible. Now, think about it though. Uh, you can shortcut something that would have taken somebody a lifetime to study, because there is 680, I think 680 instances in which the word heaven is used in the Bible. And I think I looked at it yesterday, it was 200 and something in instances in which the word heavens, plural, is used. And heavens and heaven is used about in the same context sometimes and a little differently. Anyway, all I wanted to share is share how I got it, share why I want to look at it, and hopefully this will help you, figure something out. Let's say the one when I did, so for instance, I did a word search using a concordance when I first started the Bible, using a concordance on the word praying, praying, pray, all of that, because I was trying to understand what what was it okay to pray for? How were we supposed to pray? Okay. And I know you have the Lord's Prayer, but I wanted to understand further what that meant. And so it took me, shoot, I'm going to say 2 weeks to go through every single instances in which the Bible talks about prayer. Highlight it, highlight the context, read it, understand it, move on, next and next. It took a long time. This could take also a long time, but it'll be easy to code some of the data. So what I started doing yesterday was, in any instances where the word of heaven is simply implied as the sky above, I just wrote a note next to a sky above, so that when I go back and then I can leave behind the ones where I not sure that that's the context, read, pull that particular chapter and verse and maybe and read it in context and try to understand really what they mean by the word heaven in that particular context. Anyways, this is super nerdy stuff, but I hope it helps you, it blesses you in some way. Come back and God bless. Bye bye.